तिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकाय चक्षुषुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मायं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्ते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे कृष्ण. So I just now came from Prayagraj. I don't know. I've shared some. No, it's on my broadcast. I shared the Kumbh Mela. So I was at Prayagraj, beautiful place. That's where Srila Prabhupada got initiated. Srila Prabhupada got initiated. Srila Prabhupada lived in Prayagraj as a Grihastha. Spent a lot of time, around 12 years, stayed in Prayagraj. He got initiated. He was doing a business in Prayagraj. In those days, Allahabad. Prabhupada had a pharmaceutical this thing trading company there. In fact, when I went there, I crossed through that Prayag pharmacy. And until COVID, devotees told me that the shop had Prayag pharmacy written. It was written Prayag pharmacy. That shop was Srila Prabhupada's shop actually, pharmaceutical business shop. So until COVID, after the COVID, the government painted actually the whole thing. But before that, it was mentioned. Prayag pharmacy was written there. So many devotees saw it. It was nicely written, Prayag pharmacy devotees. It was very clearly visible. And I heard one story which is actually from Prayagraj of Srila Prabhupada. Very nice story. So just like we have a program, Srila Prabhupada, when he was instructed by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, when Prabhupada met Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, so Bhakti Siddhanta in the first meeting instructed him that you are a nice English speaking gentleman. Why don't you take the message of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to the Western world, to the English speaking world? But Srila Prabhupada actually was very impressed to meet Bhakti Siddhanta, and he was very eager to follow his instruction. Prabhupada writes that, but I was already married. That's one of the reasons he could not. He said, I was already married. And then, but Srila Prabhupada took those instructions very seriously, and for a long time he was contemplating. And he was always looking for opportunities to preach. He was always writing certain article to preach. And subsequently, when Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur met Srila Prabhupada, he told him that second time, third time, he said, whenever you get money, print books. And Prabhupada used to always try to endeavor for this. I was always contemplating. These instructions of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur had become the contemplation of Srila Prabhupada from the point he met him. Now it is said that in Prayagraj, Prabhupada, there was a center of Gaudiya Math, where Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, disciples, many of them sat from brahmacharis and sannyasis, used to preach. And just like we have some house program, New Bombay, we have sometimes house program, no? Our devotees are there, New Bombay, they must be on Zoom. So, just like we have house program, Srila Prabhupada used to invite his god brothers who were sannyasis and brahmacharis when he was a grahastha, and he used to arrange house programs. He used to arrange programs for his god brothers. I heard sometimes these god brothers who are very new and they knew Abhay Babu is very scholarly, very educated, and Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to like. So sometimes they were reluctant to speak in front of Srila Prabhupada, some of his god brothers. You know what used to happen? They were reluctant to speak in front of Srila Prabhupada. So Prabhupada, they were sannyasis, brahmacharis. So Srila Prabhupada used to make them sit on the asan. Just like I sang Radha Madhav, they would sing some Gaudiya Vaishnava bhajan. Prabhupada would be sitting down and they would sing Gaudiya bhajan and Harinam Sankirtan. And then after that class, Srila Prabhupada used to sit, give, give sitting down. So one devotee told me a lot of programs like this happened in Prayagraj. In Prayagraj. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also came there. And it is when I was there, I'm just sharing some very recent reflections actually. I was there. How many of you been to Dashashmet Ghat in Prayagraj? You've been. We have Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's footprints there, installed by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So now if you go, it's completely different when we went in 2013. The government has really developed the whole temple also, so with sandstone. And the Dashashmet Ghat is also very beautifully made. And recently, last week, the Ghat is handed over to ISKCON to maintain. So, and that's the place where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat for, because he came for Magh Mela. When we went, Magh Mela was going on actually. When I went 2 weeks back in Prayagraj, every year there is Magh Mela. Small Magh Mela is there. Anyone from Prayagraj? UP? From Prayagraj? You Magh Mela होता है ना sir? So that time अभी होता है इस समय पे. I was there for Magh Mela. So Magh Mela also a lot of sadhus come. So once Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there during Magh Mela time, it was too crowded. So Mahaprabhu went to the Dashashmet Ghat, sat there, and there he spoke Rupa Shiksha. Actually not Rupa Shiksha, Rupa different place. But he spoke to Rupa Goswami for 10 days under that tree. And if you go there, you will see that tree is still there. Very huge tree. You can think that if you see, you will understand it's 500 years old. The tree is there and the temple is very beautifully made. And lot of devotees go there to take darshan. And it was very nice experience. I was just reflecting Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stay, and then I flew via Banaras. Via Banaras. And these are two places where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spent less time, but the very beautiful instructions are there. Because when you hear about Banaras, in Banaras, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave a very, I could not go, last time I had gone when I went to Banaras. The house of Tapan Mishra is there in Banaras. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met who? Prakashanand Saraswati. So very beautiful pastime. This time one devotee took me via airport, took me briefly around there. So there, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is said that wherever he would travel, so he would dance. And when he would dance, people would dance with him, and thousands of people would be following him. People would fall on the floor dancing and seeing him singing. Because see, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was 7, 8, 9 feet tall. 8 feet tall, and it was his form was like a molten gold, you know. And imagine golden form of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dancing and with tears in his eyes wherever he would pass by. He would just deliver the whole people around with Krishna Prem. Wherever he would go, he would just deliver. That is why it is said Sankirtan is a process for Kali Yuga. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was going there, Prakashananda Saraswati and his followers was a very big Mayavad sannyasi, very Mayavad sannyasi. And his followers, because there was always news going that there is this sannyasi who has come in Banaras, and Banaras was also just like Navadip. Even Banaras was famous for scholars, Sanskrit pandits. Even Banaras was famous, and they were all do Veda Patan, Sanskrit, Veda, Shastras, quoting, speak in Sanskrit, debate in Sanskrit, one word they would break, and eh, they would argue like that. If you like in Bengal, they have called Trivedi, Chaturvedi, 3, 4, Chaturvedi like that. All scholarly. If you ask the lineage, it is coming from that scholarly lineage. So they would all debate like this. So they saw, and they knew sannyasi means very strict, very scholar. That's the understanding, and that's how they were respected. But suddenly, in the same Banaras, one other sannyasi has come who is just dancing every lane, dancing everywhere, raising his hand up, and people are following him. People are not only following him, becoming his followers. People are not only following him, they are also becoming his followers. So that was pinching to the followers of Prakashananda Saraswati. And Prakashananda Saraswati's followers, they were also offending Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They would tell the followers that tell your sannyasi, tell your guru that this is Banaras. All this sentimental process is not going to work here. This is a place of scholars. All this sentimental process of following is not going to work here. Tell your guru, tell your sannyasi, it's not going to work here. So Tapan Mishra and all other leaders who were there in Banaras, they felt very hurt that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has personally come here and is distributing Nam Sankirtan, and these people are offending him. These people are offending him. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the followers, devotees were very, very upset. So they went, they even said that this sannyasi, your sannyasi is a chali, all his sentimental dancing is not going to work here. So they felt very offended. So they went to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and they were telling that Mahaprabhu, these people are totally unqualified. These people are totally unqualified to get your mercy. Totally unqualified to get your mercy. And they were very disappointed. And they said, hence you should not give your mercy here, Mahaprabhu. Like this. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he heard them because his followers were very offended, they were very disappointed. He heard them very nicely. After hearing them out, Mahaprabhu very nicely he told that, of course, that it is said also, one of our senior leader was telling, Mahaprabhu was trying to say that Golokera Prema Dhana, all of you know this verse? Golokera Prema Dhana Harinama Sankirtana. There is one more verse in Harinam Chintamani. The last line says, 3 lines, Nama se Parama Dhana Krishnera Bandhare. Lord Krishna's treasury is there. Within that treasury, the most auspicious treasure is his holy name only, even in Krishna's treasury. So that's why they said from that treasury, Golokera Prema, There's one verse in Harinam Chintamani which connects to this verse. Goro Kera Prema Dhana Harinama Sankirtana. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had come to give this Prema Dhan. Dhan means you are carrying a treasury. So Mahaprabhu told them, look, I am come with a very big weight. I'm carrying a very big weight. मैं बहुत बड़ा सामान लेके घूम रहा हूँ and I cannot carry it back. It was follows. I cannot carry this love of God at Harinam Premadhan back with me. It's too heavy for me to carry it back. Hence, he told this famous verse. He told that because it's too heavy and I cannot carry it back, qualified or not qualified, without discrimination, I'll give this out. Because if people are not qualified, I don't have the energy now to discriminate. Hence, I will Golokera Prema Dhana Harinama Sankirtan. This Prema Dhan, the chanting of the holy name, indiscriminately, I will distribute to the everyone. Indiscriminately, I will distribute this to anyone. And disciples or church followers of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were very shaken. And then that's the whole story with great humility and simplicity. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu approaches Prakashananda Saraswati. And what happens, we know. Mahaprabhu goes and all the sannyasi, he goes to the assemblies of sannyasi. And Mahaprabhu sees all of them sitting there and he sees their shoes outside. So Mahaprabhu actually, where the shoes are there, he goes and sits there. And he said that you all are great sannyasis. I feel I am not qualified. I feel I am not qualified. So this is the right place for me. They all, it is said, they were all very shaken by humility of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then later on he had a big discussion. That is another big chapter of discussion between Prakashananda Saraswati and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not only give them love and God, but he converted all these Mayavadis and thousands of Maya sannyasis, including Prakashananda Saraswati and his disciple, into Vaishnavas. And by the time Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left, they were dancing in Kirtan like mad. So, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's simplicity. I was just reading recently, apparently, what happened in our Aktapur, right now, Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto is going on. And the section is of creation. You know that in second chapter also, creation comes. Now, I went twice to Attapur recently, and this canto is going on. So I was like, because you see, Bhagavatam has everything. It has everything. So, in the history of humanity, how people come into existence, how things come into existence, who comes when, how the creation comes from the Lord is never mentioned. So much detail in its understandable language. And further Bhaktivedanta purports makes it more understandable. Very, very beautiful. Not only it is so nicely explained, of course, see, these are subjects are very technical. Bhagavatam, everyone, very, very, those who are very, very intellectual, if you have read that second chapter, it starts from Krishna and then Krishna's different energies, Leela Shakti, Swarup Shakti, then Lord Balramji's expansion, and then Lord Balramji is only Paramatma, and then it comes into the detail that this and this happened, and then the sound manifested, ego manifested, intelligence came into existence. Now, someone asked me a question. I said, look, I am reading what is there. Because for me, I am 10th pass, because I used to not do my homework. And now answering this section is like putting me in the school room, school classroom. I said, intelligence existed, came into manifestation, you just understand it manifested. That's it. I said, Acha. Good, I am not there. I didn't ask you which verse is going on. Really? Amazing. Baap re baap. So when I was given this verse, so I went and prepared full, and I whole night prepared because you know the when it comes to creation, everything is connected. How sound came into existence, how intelligence came into existence, and before that how Lord expands, and then they three Paramatma, and then one enter, no, three Garbhodaksha Vishnu, Shirodaksha Vishnu, and Mahavishnu, and then all these things, you have to understand. Then there is a connection to each, and there is a point where Brahmaji comes into Brahmaji comes into existence. He does further creation, and all this comes into that creation. Creation and creation after creation can, in material life, human beings also creating only. And then women are created. The meaning of women's three, you know what? Anyone knows the meaning of three? Huh? Three means expansion. Like when I was a brahmachari, I had three pairs of clothes. And I used to travel all over India. After I got married, from the next day, I have to think when I should travel. Before that, yeah, yatra hai, chalo, bag lo, nikal jao. That bag was my asset. But now I have a house. In that house, there's a living room, bedroom room, children room, fridge, everything. Only because I have three with me. Expansion. Correct, no? Expansion. Like all of us, most of us in white dhoti. No expansion, you see. But you see colorful here. You know? Some are colorful grastas also. Their lives are more colorful. The color impact can be seen. So I prepared nicely. And then I was still feeling that some boys are very intelligent. One boy asked one question. Roji, what is, then there is internal energy, external energy. Then there is marginal energy. Then there is Haladini Shakti. Krishna's Haladini Shakti. She is a pressure giving potency. Then I had to go again into detail. Then I understood, okay, Radharani is pressure giving potency, and all the concepts of Haladini Shakti and all the gopis are Haladini Shakti. All the queens of Dwarka are Haladini Shakti. Expansion of Haladini Shakti. I said, I was very prepared. Nicely I did preparation. And then I came to know it's Ekadashi, Prabhupada Lilamrit. Prabhupada Lilamrit. Then I gave nice class on Prabhupada pastime. And I got saved at least one. Next time I had to give the class. Second canto. So the point I was trying to make was there is so much in Bhagavatam, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is certain section where there is a Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami speaks about creation. But this point a lot, when I was in Prayagraj and Banaras this time, I was just thinking how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of all these things, the two things which were more important was, even if you don't know all these things, you develop the intelligence to understand it. And that is the process given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Srila Prabhupada has magnified it and been more merciful one way. Because even in 10 offenses it is mentioned. Last is what? No, that is 11. Not to preach to the person who doesn't. The ninth one, that is, yeah. Not to preach the person who has no faith on the holy name. And Prabhupada has sent us out on the street. Some or other give them the holy name. Some or other make them touch, their life will be perfect. Make them touch my books. So that humility, that compassion is very, very important. That simplicity on the faith, on scriptures is very important. Our humility and our faith and simplicity plays a very big role in our Krishna consciousness. It plays a very big role, and it is very, very easy to hear and feel that you know it. And application is only an individual test. Application is a very individual test. Once Gaur Govind Maharaj was giving a class, he said, Simplicity is Vaishnavism. What? Simplicity is Vaishnavism. Vaishnavas are very, very simple. When he asked, but the question is, in today's world, who is simple? In today's world, who is simple? In today's world, who is simple? Who is simple in today's world? Except a small innocent child. And then Prabhupada also gives this example that we should have faith just like a child has on his father. And Prabhupada gives a beautiful example. He gives the example that a father or a mother is holding the child's hand and crossing the road. Suppose, those who have child, they just hold the hand of the mother and father, cross the road. The child just playingly crosses the road, right? You will hold the father's hand and you dance and cross the road. Father and mother will be excited, isn't it? But the same child, if he has to alone cross the road, what will happen? So Prabhupada writes that when he writes about that simplicity, he compares to the child's. And today it is very difficult. That simple faith, that simplicity, that faith. The way the modern education system has developed, it has first thing corrupt our mind so badly that even if you know, you can never apply it. Because you are programmed in certain way from your childhood. That you know but you cannot apply it. It's just difficult because you are programmed in childhood from the childhood in a completely different way. Modern education system is designed in such a way. And whereas the Vedic culture, it was very, very God-centered. Very, very God-centered. Like, I was giving class, I think in creation only, like few days ago, I got one very nice video. And that video was about one small boy who, before going to the school, he actually goes to one Pandit this Patshala. I shared that actually. I shared in the broadcast, no? I think no, our group I shared, no? In that group, what you shared? I only shared, no? So that small boy, before going to a proper school, he goes to one village Panditji's Patshala. So there, everything was explained according to Ramayana, Mahabharata, and Bhagavatam stories. So the child had heard that. So apparently he goes to, his father comes from a city and he said, "Peta abhi tekko hum school mein dalenge." So he goes to the school and gives him admission. And apparently in the first week, some inspection fellow comes from outside. So when he comes from outside, so yes, so बच्चों यहाँ पर आप लोग की पढ़ाई ठीक से हो रही है? बोला यस पिताजी, नो मास्टर जी। बोला ठीक है, एक बात बताओ, अभी कुछ दिन में सूर्य चंद्र ग्रहण होने वाला है, तो कोई बता सकता है चंद्र ग्रहण कैसे होता है भूगोल के अनुसार, ज्योग्राफी के अनुसार? तो दिस बॉय रेजेस हिज हैंड, he said, मैं बताता हूँ मास्टर जी। They call him. He said, बोलो. So he said, एक बार बहुत बड़ा समुद्र मंथन हुआ था और उस समुद्र मंथन में राक्षस और देवता आपस में आके वो लोग इसको खींच रहे थे वासुकी को। एक समय उसमें से क्या आ गया? मोहिनी मूर्ति, और वो अमृत लेकर के चले गए और वो जो देवताओं को अमृत पान करा रही थी, तब राहु उनके बीच में बैठ गया और उसके वजह से चंद्र ग्रहण होता है। And according to geography, the lunar eclipse is totally different, no? So this boy told like this, small boy. Actually, you should share with all of them. All of you have seen the clip? So I already seen. So that boy looks like this. Chala. Then the master ji says, "Chup ho jaye beta, mera grahan ho jayega warna." This is one part. The good part is when he goes home. He goes and tells his mother, मैं कल से, first he throws his shoes and a bag in the house. throws his shoes and bag. He said, actually, 1 week I was contemplating on that. I was so moved by that video. I said, the impact in the childhood, if you teach the right thing, the impact of it. The boy goes home and throws his shoes and throws his bag and tells, मैं स्कूल नहीं जाने वाला. बोले, क्यों? सारे टीचर पगला गए बोलते स्कूल में. और एक और टीचर बाहर से आया तो वो तो सबसे बड़ा पगला है. और वो बोल रहा है कि धरती हवा में लटक रही है. And then the boy throws his shoes. The mother also gets scared. Then he throws the other shoe up in the air. And both those shoes goes in the air and falls down. And then he tells his mother, देखा ये जूते ऊपर नहीं रहते हवे में और ये और ये बोल रहा. And then he had in his house there was a calendar or a photo. In that, I think ancient creation photo is there where Ananta Shesh is holding the whole universe. So he said, देखो उधर पूरे भूमंडल को अनंत शेष अपने सर के ऊपर रखा होगा और ये लोग तो एकदम कुछ भी बात कर रहे पागलों जैसा. And then the mother tries to preach him, but he doesn't agree. And he says, I'm not going to go to the school. That, because we always, that made me realize that how in innocence, in simplicity, what we are taught, it has such a strong impression in our life. It has such a strong impression. This boy was taught, it has such a strong impression on him. So when we this as I was mentioning, when there is simplicity, one follows, and that following, if it's the right process, right path, carries the rest of the life. I was contemplating because that was this was a very big revelation to me, because we always preach about the modern education system, but this time, it was this small clip was actually a visual of what actually what an impact it has. What an impact it has. And we are on the opposite side. I'll tell you a nice story. Comes to my mind. I think I've told this before also. In one village, there was no rain. What we call it, drought. There was no rain for a long time. So the elder, one village, there was one old Vaishnava, old man, very elderly man in the village. He told that we should do a yajna. We should invite Vaishnavas. We should do a Sankirtan yajna. If the Vaishnavas are invited, and if there is a Sankirtan yajna, the Lord will be happy, and demigods will follow the order of the Lord, and it will rain. All the villages, they planned, and they invited one sadhu, one group of devotees, as per the order of this old sadhu of the city, of the village. So they invited many devotees, Sankirtan devotees, and they told them, please come and do Sankirtan in our village. So the villagers prepared nicely, and they made all the arrangement, and all the villagers came. And then the devotees were doing Kirtan. Huge. There was fire yajna, which was also very with limited mantras, but more was Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Nam Sankirtan being chanted. So this old Vaishnava who was there in the village, he came out to participate in the Sankirtan yajna. So he came with a umbrella, with that old umbrella. You comes, Dadaji ka chhatri bolte hain. It has one pointed thing put on the, and so he came with that. So the young boys in the village saw that umbrella and started commenting. बोला दादाजी को बहुत घाई हो गई है बारिश लाने का, छाता लेके निकले हैं. So he went there. He sat for the yajna, and big Sankirtan was going on. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So then, continuously Kirtan was going on, and suddenly it started very, very heavily raining with thunder. And all the villagers started hearing here and there to protect themselves, be on the shade, be in the houses. Here and there they started running. And then this old man just removed his umbrella in the yajna and stood there. And some of the young devotees, young boys, they came under his umbrella and they stood for shelter. So then, with great curiosity, they asked this old Vaishnava. They said, "How did you come to know that it will rain? How did you come to know it will rain?" So he said, Vaishnavas have come and they have performed yajna and they are performing Sankirtan yajna. So that is why it has rained. So they said, that though we know if Vaishnavas will come, it will rain. But how did you know it will rain today? He said, Vaishnavas have come, they are performing yajna. They are performing Sankirtan yajna. That is why it has rained. And they said, that we also know that he has performed Sankirtan yajna and it has rained. But how did you know it will rain? So he told the same answer. They know it and he also knows it. But there's a difference. Correct? That is, they know because they were educated in modern education system. So they know. And he also knows. Because he has read Bhagavatam only. So knowingly, we don't have faith. Knowingly. In front of our eyes it is there, we don't have. And it is a very big suffering. And Lord reciprocates that simple, innocent faith. Just like in Srimad Bhagavatam. There are so many stories. When you take Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj. He just wanted to be on his father's lap. His father had uh, his father had another wife also. So he just wanted to be in his father's lap. And the stepmother told him that if you want to sit, because the stepmother's son, the stepfather was very dear to stepwife, the second wife was very dear to King Uttanapad, right? Uttanapad. So Suniti, right? Suniti told that if you know, Suruchi told, Suruchi told very strongly, if you want to sit on your father's lap, you have to take birth from my womb. Dhruv Maharaj was just a 5 years old child. He felt so offended. He went to his mother. And he cried out and complained to his mother. And what did the mother say? And something else she said. Approach Lord Narayan. What your stepmother said is true. And if you approach Lord Narayan, he will fulfill your. So, of course, in this Bhagavatam section, one of the most important lessons is that how Suniti, in today's world, if you tell a Mataji that this Mataji told like this about you, there will be a dharma, Mahabharat in the house. But Suniti told what she said is right. She pulled the essence from it. If you worship Lord Vishnu, Lord Narayan, your desire will be fulfilled. And because of that, Prabhupada writes that she acted like a spiritual master to him. And he went with so much innocence. He was just 5, 6 years old child. He just went to the jungle. Okay, where is Lord Vishnu? His desire was so strong. His desire was so strong. And he has so much faith on the instruction that Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur told, which Prabhupada quotes, that don't try to search Krishna. Do service in such a way that Krishna will search where are you. Same thing he said, don't try to search Guru. Do your service in such a way the Guru will come. Guru will manifest. So Dhruva Maharaj had such a faith, such innocent faith, that first Narad Muni had to come. Guru only came running, searching, Are, kya ho gaya? Then he told Narad Muni, kya hoga nahi, bolo Vishnu kahan milega. He said, what happened? So he told the whole story. He said, you're a small child. होता है ये सब चीज फैमिली में खेल खेल में. Go back and play. He said, if you can answer my question, answer my question. Don't distract me from my path. Just answer my question. And then he gives him the mantra. What is that? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And then we know how Dhruv Maharaj did so much of austerity. So much of austerity. In 6 months, he had darshan of. It is meant that his his austerity had practically almost going to stop the whole creation. Lord had to appear. A nice, beautiful description is there in Bhagavatam that first Dhruva's eyes were closed and he saw the same Lord in the closed eyes. He saw the same Lord. His eyes were closed, but he saw the same Lord. The Lord was right in front of him, but Dhruva had not opened his eyes. Closing his eyes, we could see the Lord and smile. And then suddenly, when he opened, the same Lord was in front of him. And Dhruva Maharaj, it is so beautiful written in Bhagavatam. Dhruva Maharaj did not know what to do. He's not a Sanskrit Pandit well versed with the Bhagavatam that he can glorify the Lord with thousands of verses. But he could not, and he just could not. Sometimes, like, for the best way to explain is when the father goes out and a 3, 4 years old child, 2 years old child, when he sees the father back home, he doesn't know what to do. Sometimes he comes to open the door, sometimes he runs inside also. He doesn't know what to do. Kya karo? He doesn't know. It's so ecstatic. So Dhruv Maharaj was like this. And then he fell at the feet of the Lord and started kissing the feet of the Lord. And then he looked at the Lord, he wanted to glorify. Then the Lord understood he wanted to glorify. You know what the Lord did? He touched the conch shell on Dhruva Maharaj's head. And there are so many, maybe few hundred verses, Dhruva Maharaj glorifying the Lord in Sanskrit. So, simplicity is Vaishnavism. It is very, very important that we all be very simple, very humble, very honest. Try to work towards self-discipline. Even to understand simplicity, honesty is very important. Honesty is, see, we all are conditioned soul, with cheating propensity. There are two things very, very difficult for sadhaka to overcome. One is in Kali Yuga, uh, this this verse comes, Kaler Doshanidhi, you know, Kaler Doshanidhi Rajan. So dosham in this material world, it is said that it is an ocean of suffering, right? Now, what do you know about ocean? You know only the salt ocean, correct? Only Grasthas know ocean of suffering. They can relate to little bit. He wants to get married. So, ocean, uh, ocean. See, we are Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, ocean of mercy, isn't it? Ocean of mercy, and the material world is ocean of suffering. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is ocean of mercy. Both the oceans are together. Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga, both the oceans. And if you see, a lot of distraction happens. Of course, when we are working in the outside world, it's a total different ball game to deal with. And when we are living with devotees, it's a total different situation. Both the aspects. But in any situation, it is very, very important that every individual sees the world in connection to Krishna. Apply every situation in connection to Krishna. Then you are Krishna conscious. Always live by applying philosophy of Krishna consciousness. Always be humble. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is said, I was reading Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's humility, but that, I'm not qualified and this is the right place to sit, actually touch Prakashananda's heart. So our action and speech plays a very big role. Our action and speech, how we communicate, how we talk, because today's modern world people are very, see, first of all, the whole hospitality industry is superficial humility. Nowadays when I am on the flight, air hostesses are there, they're so nicely they talk to you as if you're in the Vaikuntha, and they're demigod, like Vaikuntha service is there. But you can see it is so difficult for them to do that, and it's so frustrating to do it, but still they have to do it so nicely. Correct or not? Same people, you see one corner, they will be just shouting at each other or arguing or commenting on each other in the corners. So this false humility, it is a very big suffering, and it's a very big industry in the material world. It's very big, but our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's philosophy teaches that you have to be like that. Imagine if devotees are like that. That's why Lord Chaitanya Prabhupada writes, devotees of Krishna consciousness movement, when they are actually in the outside world, which most of all of grastas are, they actually are giving their association to the suffering humanity of this world. Why? Their Vaishnava behavior, not the hospitality industry's behavior. But they are genuine Vaishnava behavior. When a Vaishnava deals nicely, people are very surprised that how he can speak like this, why he's so good and kind. That curiosity makes a person a devotee, attracts a person to Krishna consciousness. So that is why it is very important, as Grihasthas, everyone is attached to their children. So much attached. Children is like your own heart. Your own heart is having legs and hands and roaming around. Children are like that. You know. And if you have one child, Baba Baba. My wife tells me this, that sometime when we have someone has one child and something goes with that child, and I told my wife, अरे इनका reaction तेरा reaction इतना फर्क क्यों है? She told me अपने वो चार हैं, दोनों एक दूसरे को मारते हैं तो हमको फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, कोई और भी मार दिया तो इनका एक है और कोई मार दिया तो उनका दिल ही टूट गया पूरा. That's why in a Vedic time they would have 5, 6, 7, 8 children. So I was saying some point before this. What was it? Yeah, Vaishnav. So our children, actually, I was telling our children. Many of them, we want to take care of our children very nicely and we want them to become good devotees. But the very simplest way to become a devotee is that you act like a nice devotee and they just follow you. They just follow you. If you act like a devotee and live like a hardcore karmi, they don't know what to do in life. They get confused. But if you act like a nice Vaishnava, see, nice Vaishnava doesn't mean, as I said, it doesn't mean only practicing. It also means dealing. It also means behavior, conduct. That is very, very important. It has an impact. And then what kind of association you live with me? Live. Like I can tell you my recent realization. Like I am now 16 years married. My eldest son is 14 years. But I saw one very nice thing. My eldest son, amongst all the devotees, is very attached to Narottam Prabhu, somehow or other, from the childhood. And Narottam is given him so much love. So I was always thinking that one thing is very nice in him, whatever he may become, but he has attachment to Narottam Prabhu. I was very relaxed about it. But recently I got very nice realization. Last time or this time in Yatra, he came for the Yatra. All of you came for the Yatra, Vrindavan Yatra. So my son also came. So he started looking at everyone and he started asking questions. Who is this devotee? Who is this devotee? Who is this Mataji? To Nitai Madhav. And Nitai Madhav started explaining who is he and bringing to me, connecting to me. And then every devotee was connecting to me. And I saw my son. He started dealing me like a temple president at home. I told my wife, Baba, ये सब नहीं चाहिए. It's better. He just continues his attachment to devotees. That's it. He's already attached to Narottam Prabhu. He remains attached to him. That's my perfection of life. So the point I was trying to say is that if we remain with devotees, stay with devotees, behave like devotees, always try to serve, actually, then our children also know what to do. If we go to devotees and act like devotees and live like a hardcore karmi, children will be confused. Children will be confused. It doesn't mean that you should not work. It doesn't mean you should not face the challenges of life. But you have to conclude every situation with Krishna consciousness philosophy, teachings of Krishna and Bhagavad Gita. You have to apply that. Okay, this has happened, no problem. Krishna will take care. I don't no problem. We'll see what happens, how the Lord will do. No, no, let us not criticize. Why we should criticize and spoil our mouth? We should just leave it. He will face his karma. You understand? If you do that, then the child will see. Ah, my parents are devoted. If you come here with night dhoti kurta and tilak and shout at home, something goes wrong. The child will say, अरे ये तो दो मतलब क्या बोलते हैं? ये सिक्के के दो अलग साइड है. So that was that. Our own simplicity doesn't mean that children have to be simple. We have to be humble, simple, and that will be carried by everyone, not only our own children. Everyone. That is the essence. Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much sir, for patiently and attentively hearing. I'll take some questions. Don't send them to school. It is simple. The simplest answer, which is difficult. I can say this because I did not send it. I very easily say this. It's a very difficult world today. Many of us, uh, you know, we were, our parents were not practicing Krishna consciousness like we are doing. But still, we took up Krishna consciousness at a certain age when we were introduced to it. So that means, there is a possibility. But then what happens is you have to read. One few things which you can do is you should read for the child. Prabhupada wanted the parents to read Krishna book to their children every day. They should be introduced to Ramayana, Mahabharata stories from the childhood. You should give teaching. They should see you practicing. You should be communicating to them what in the outside world, in the education, what is true, what is untrue from Bhagavatam. And you should also make them mature, even knowing about Krishna consciousness, still how to act in the outside world so that you don't get bullied. And at the same time, you don't lose your faith by associating with people outside too much. So it is very simple if you follow it nicely. It is very, very complicated if one is himself on two boats. Suppose you are in two boats and standing. At one point, if both the boat go in different direction, what will happen to you? Huh? Wrong. Or you have to choose one of the boat. Eh? You have to choose one of the boat. So when the material success is there, people jump on the material boat. And suddenly there is difficulty beating in the material life, they will pull the other boat and jump on the other boat for some time. And then again between both the boats, keeping leg in both the boats. So that should not be done. We should always be Krishna conscious, speak Krishna consciousness at home, bring them children for the programs, bring them for the yatras, read scriptures, discuss them philosophy with them. That's the best way we can make them devotees. When you live it, as I said, if you live it, then they learn it more. You know, I have seen 1 minute. I have seen that. I remember one thing. One of my senior was there. I cannot forget this. That was a. I was grown up by that time. I was 20 years old. So there was some big argument among. I was with devotees in a yatra. So one devotee, three, four devotees had some argument, and they all came together and started shouting at one devotee. And this devotee got up and very peacefully he spoke. What happened? 1 minute. And this devotee was shouting. He caught his hand. He said, "Sit, sit." Then he said, "Just peacefully tell me exactly what happened. Don't shout because others will hear outside. No, it will not look. You tell me now what exactly, but peacefully. Don't shout and say. Very loud, slowly you say." And that by saying that he had to follow that, and that fellow very calmly explained. But still, he came little down because the devotee spoke. He came little down, and the devotee heard it, and then he gave some more examples to him, some stories, some pastime. He was criticizing. Someone spoke something about him. So this devotee very nicely, senior devotee very nicely told. He said, "Arey, when Krishna was there in this material world, he was criticized. Who are you and me? When Krishna was there, Jarasandh, Duryodhan, they all criticized Krishna. If Krishna can be criticized, who are you and me? It's okay, I will speak to him. I will never forget that in my life. Because that scene was an amazing learning for me for the rest of the life. Very calmly he dealt and gave one story of Krishna, gave an example that devotee had nothing to reply. Chup chap he went away. So when your children see you dealing and living like this and telling someone else amongst yourself like this, that is Krishna consciousness, no? But if you're shouting and yelling and disturbed, pulling your hairs out and blaming the whole world, you will say, तो मम्मी तो मंदिर में अलग है, यात्रा में अलग है, घर पे अलग है. So we have to apply. It is difficult. I am also learning. I'm just sharing. We all have to keep practicing, associating with Vaishnavas, talking to them, updating them our life. See, gossip is the lifestyle today. You understand? Gossip is the lifestyle. So then instead of gossiping, you should talk to devotees. You should talk to devotees. Tell them what's happening, hear about them, associate with each other. I hope that answers your question. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji, you were saying something. So yeah, we have to take association of devotees. That will solve all the problems. Prabhupada said these institutions, ISKCON temples. They are meant to solve this problem only. Just like you have come here, you're feeling so nice. I can see you so happy, isn't it? That's it. You just take association or devotees, and the problem will be solved, and you will not even come to know it's solved. That's the beauty of Krishna consciousness association. If you take association of devotees, all the problems are solved. I'll tell you one nice story. Once one businessman had come to one Swamiji, and he told that I have business in this country, I have business in that country, I have business in this country. But Swamiji, I'm not getting sleep in the night. I'm just not getting sleep in the night. I'm very successful. I have lot of money. I have lot of property. I have lot of jewelry, lot of treasury, lot of assets. But I'm not getting sleep in the night. So Swamiji told him, tomorrow morning you come for Bhagavatam class. So he came for the Bhagavatam class. So Swamiji started Kirtan, Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijan Vallabha Girivaradhari. Nicely did Kirtan like I did. You were there when I started Kirtan? He did Kirtan. Then he did Pranam Mantra, Jayam Vishnupada Param. Everything he did, all the Pranam Mantras, and then everyone paid obeisances. You saw, no? After the Kirtan, everyone paid obeisances. Right? So this fellow who was not getting sleep, he also paid obeisances. Everyone got up, he didn't get up. He was like this, sleeping. Everyone said, "Arey, arey, arey." The Swami said, no. The medicine is working. The medicine is not to sleep in Bhagavatam, but because he came in association of devotees. I'll tell you another beautiful story. Once one businessman came to Srila Prabhupada like this only. And he told, I have business here, I have business there, I have business here, I have business there, I am this, I am that. I am not getting sleep because of all this business. So Prabhupada told his disciple, you go with him and we will take away some share of his business and assets so that he is relieved from it and he'll get little peace. This guy became silent completely. Our root cause of suffering is two. We don't want to take association of devotees and we are attached to materialistic lifestyle. Solution is very simple. Just be with devotees and if not possible, and just take prasadam. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so very merciful. Krishna says surrender. Sarva dharman paritejaya maam ekam sharanam bhaja. And says man mana bhava mad bhak. Think about me. Worship me. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu unconditionally says. Unconditionally is giving out mercy. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna is telling surrender and Mahaprabhu's Mahavadanyaya. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Bhava Padayate. Krishna hai. So we should take mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you take association of devotees, there's no problem. Solution to all problems, even in scriptures, is association of devotees. If you take association, age doesn't matter. Age doesn't matter, background doesn't matter. This is just for knowledge, but be in association and then you see the miracle. Because the world is very untruth and they're trying to find truth in untruth. Nobody speaks truth. Even we are suffering, we cannot understand we are suffering. Because our slogan is, enjoy karo, kuch bhi ho jaye. There's no enjoyment in this world. So basically the point is that if we take association, it has a great impact. Like many of us were not introduced to Krishna consciousness when we were child. But when we came in association of devotees, we could take up Krishna consciousness from the stage where we are. Because of association. So that's the problem to everything. And age is not a barrier. In our yatras, we don't have age limit, right? Association has no age limit, right, Nardam? Hare Krishna. Most of the time. One very important thing to do that is rise up early and chant and sleep early. Try to sleep early. Try to have a diet in a way that you can rise up early. If you can chant your rounds, so then you will be able to deal with the rounds and always have a Krishna conscious plans towards the earning. Like my Guru Maharaj, in those days, in the 1965, he was working as a marketing research manager of Coca-Cola. And he wanted to resign and join. Prabhupada said, no, you work and give all your money to. With your money, I'm maintaining centers. He was like, with my Guru Maharaj's donation, Prabhupada was running few centers, it is said, in those days. So, like this, somehow or other, our source of income doesn't mean that, अरे ये तो प्रभु जी तो स्मार्ट है, क्लास में मांग लिया पूरा पैसा ही अपना, ऐसा नहीं है. It is not like that. Somehow or other, your life should be centered around Krishna. You have a good sadhana, you go out and earn money. But then, after you come back, you have to have a Krishna conscious life. With that money also, you have to have a plan for a Krishna conscious life. It's all devotion. How to use that money in Krishna's service. Spending to live and give a good life to your family so that they become devotees also is a Krishna conscious plan. But only thinking that my materialistic plans will be fulfilled and I'll become a nice devotee after my materialistic plan are fulfilled, that is cheating. Mind's cheating. Your whole life will go in that. That we have to be very careful of. Radheshyam Prabhu gives a very beautiful example for this. He says, waiting to perfect our materialistic plans, and then to take up Krishna consciousness is like going to Jagannath Puri and standing in the ocean of Jagannath Puri with your towel to take bath. And your condition is what? Once the wave will stop, you will quickly take bath and come. Waves will never stop and you will never take bath. It is like that. And that is the biggest mind's game. Just this material plans of you are going to be going the way you feel and it will hit well and you will earn. भक्ति तो यहीं पर है. इस्कॉन टेम्पल थोड़ी भागा जा रहा है किधर, जहाँ है वही रहेगा. So once this is done, I will go there. And people are taking births and births and births with this plans. This, nothing is going to change. लिखा के लाए हम लोग. This hair is there, no? एक भी ज्यादा नहीं आएगा. जितना लिखा है उतना ही आएगा. It is so accurately fixed. What we have to do is this. And our lack of faith on this is making us run behind this. So we should know, none of our material plans are going to give us perfection and happiness. It is just you have to do your karma, you have to do your duties. For that you are working. For that you are working. Do your duties, you have to come. It is not going to change anything. Change is only Krishna consciousness. If it is there will be change from material suffering to better human life, which is spiritual, which is conscious about Krishna. Conscious every situation of your life, you're conscious about Krishna and his teachings. That is life. That no material success can give. Only spiritual. That's Vaikuntha. Okay? Hare Krishna. Okay, so I'll stop here. Shri Prabhupada ki, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki.